What's good? Where you at? It is the WTFW podcast episode. My name is Kanye, Twitty. Got my co-host here. I'll let him introduce himself.
What's going on, people? My name is Nemean Lion, your boy here with Kanye, Twitty.
Ooh, and we got a show for y'all, and this is really birthed off of the trash list. If you've been a part of the WWE Podcast, especially the Discord server chat, you know what I do. We break it down, and we give you trash, we give you fire, and we give you a lunchable break. And if you need a definition, fire, I shouldn't have to explain it. Trash, it really says itself. And lunchable break, well, that is go away heat, literally. Like, what I'm saying is, when you're watching something on any wrestling program and you over it and you get hungry, then go get yourself a Lunchable. That is a Lunchable break. And we ain't got no format. We don't have any schedule. We doing this off the cuff. Me and my boy, we've been sitting here taking a hiatus from the WWE Podcast voicemail and the mailbag show, just doing some studying. And to be honest, man, I don't even know if this will get a light of day, to be honest, like, at all. It might not even go. Yeah. Well, I didn't tell the boss at all. So we don't even know if you're going to hear this. We might be doing this just for ourselves. We might be. For
all we know, this might be on the trash list.
This could be a Lunchable break.
This could be a
Lunchable break. This might be 40 minutes of you eating Lunchables. And you know what? We just don't care, because we will keep it PG. For obvious reasons. But I say we just jump right into it. Like that's what I hate about podcasts. People just talk at the beginning. I want to get into it.
Let's get into it.
You want to get into it? All right. Well, then how about this? You tell me your first fire. Give me a fire for the week.
All right. Well, not just the week, but just the past few weeks in general. The Blackpool Combat Club.
Oof.
William Regal getting taken by AEW. That's a huge fire for me. The fact that he brought to fruition the Daniel Bryan and Jon Moxley.
You know how far back that goes?
Oh yeah, I mean they've been being trained by William for years.
Man,
and the fact that it's finally a thing. This faction that's about to become is
unstoppable.
It's going to be unstoppable.
Unstoppable. I've actually listened to, I know I told you about it. I listened to Daniel Bryan's book. And if you listen to his book, this faction goes back a long ways. He credits William Regal for literally his entire career.
Yeah. And I mean, both these two wrestlers are undeniably.
Are we allowed to say wrestlers? Or do we have to say superstars? Or do we have to call them? Wait, no, we don't.
AEW, they're wrestlers.
We don't have to call them anything. But we don't cover.
I mean, that's what they are.
We're not WWE though, so we can call them anything we want.
I'm saying these guys are undeniably two of the greatest athletes. They are two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I mean, Daniel Bryan speaks for himself. The American Dragon. I mean, everybody knows when you get in the ring with that guy, you're going to put on a barn burner no matter what. He makes everybody look good, and Jon Moxley is just a tank.
And I think it's kind of fun, how you got in on Jon Moxley, and I go back, I started, watching wrestling again when you had the Shield, and I still see Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Now, given Jon Moxley, if you're comparing the two characters, the two gimmicks together, Jon Moxley's the man. You could definitely see that Jon Moxley is more closer to what he is as a person, because I mean, we've seen, you and me have watched some of the death matches and whatnot, what that man does and how good he looks. Let's give him some credit. I think it's fire also on how good Jon Moxley looks.
He went through his struggles, and he came out the other side just looking like an animal.
Oh man,
he's tore up, shredded, and just looks healthy and happy.
Yeah. So I say I'd have to agree with you. The Blackpool is it what is it again?
Blackpool Combat Club.
Blackpool Combat Club. Here's a question for you though. Besides Yuta, okay, because we're pretty sure he's getting in.
Yeah.
Who else? Who would you take? But I even challenge you a little further. Female. Who would you put in there?
I mean, if I'm going knee jerk right now, I would love to see Toni Storm.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I would love to see her be the female that they bring in there. She's, perfect fit. She's got the raw ruggedness, just perfect fit in my opinion.
And shout out to Toni Storm as well. Like, maybe it's because of the OnlyFans, but she did. I mean, she made all respect to anybody making their money. I don't care if you making your money and it's legit. She made like $10,000 in 1 hour OnlyFans, and then less than a week later, debuted on AEW.
And she looks good,
amazing. She cut weight, she toned down, and she's only gonna be even better in the ring. Yeah. And so I guess that just goes right into another fire of yours. I hear
transitions right into my next fire,
and that is
Toni Storm.
Toni Storm, baby.
She was being put on the back burner in WWE. She went through all of those battles with Charlotte.
How do you go from a pie in the face?
Got the pie in the face.
How do you go from a pie in the face?
Disrespected, and she quit. She told WWE she had enough, and there was talks that she wouldn't even come back to wrestling at all.
Right.
And as anybody being somebody who gets on OnlyFans and can make $10,000 in an hour, that's money talks. And when you see something like that, you're like, wow, do I even need to go back?
Exactly.
But that just tells me she is a fighter at heart. And that's why I think perfect fit for Blackpool Combat Club. She's an all-star. She undeniably, if you can hang in the ring with Charlotte Flair, then you can hang anywhere, in my opinion.
I've been in on her since NXT UK.
Yes.
Like, that's when I got introduced to Miss Toni Storm, was NXT UK.
Yeah.
And, I'm with you. She's only gonna get better. And that's what's crazy is, I mean, you take your Toni Storms, you take your William Regals, and it's like, how did WWE let them go?
Drop the ball.
How do you drop the ball on that?
Especially William Regal. I mean, the man's been...
You couldn't find him a job?
The man's been a vital part of WWE since he left WCW in the 90s. And he's literally created so many superstars. Like we were saying, both Jon Moxley and Daniel Bryan both can accredit William Regal for their...
Oh, no, we're supposed to say Bryan Danielson.
Oh, yeah.
No, see, we don't have to because, truth be told, if you don't know where we're at, we are here in Washington State. Aberdeen, Washington is not that far away. They are known for producing, Kurt Cobain, but Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, doesn't matter what name he goes by.
Don't matter what you call him.
He's our hometown boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's our hometown boy. But, speaking of Toni Storm, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that fire, Toni Storm, because, see, I agree with that. However, that's going to take me into my actual Lunchable break. I'm going to go straight to my Lunchable break of the week. And in case you're wondering, what we're doing is we're looking at today. We're recording this on Thursday, but we're hoping to get it out there on Fridays because to us, Fridays, we work. We're both chefs, and I know a lot of you out there, there's a lot of wrestling to watch. If you actually watch it all, there's a lot. You got NXT, you got Rampage, you got Dynamite, you got Raw, you got SmackDown, and it's just so much. So, we may not be able to watch absolutely everything, but we'll speak on everything that we do watch. And that brings me to my Lunchable break because we're going to look at everything for the last week. Today is the beginning of the wrestling week to us. We're marking it. Today is the beginning of the wrestling week. It starts on Fridays. But last week, I've tried. A lot of people complain about WWE, not having a women's tag team division and whatnot. But I'm going to say my Lunchable break for the week has got to be what used to be the strongest in all the promotions. I'm going to say that the AEW women's division, complete Lunchable break for me. Complete. And the reason why is because, you have Jade Cargill. Yeah, but I'm going to see her squash someone, or as Roman Reigns would say, smash someone and leave, right? Yeah, you got Toni Storm to show, but she just got there. Britt Baker loses the title. And what do we got? What storyline? Can you name me a storyline in AEW Women's Division that is actually of any notoriety? Any?
There's none right now.
Yeah, don't tell me it's Nyla and what?
Nyla and Thunder are...
It's thrown together. And personally, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, it really tells you how much of a star Miss Britt Baker is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Britt Baker has carried the company. She's carried the division. And I honestly don't think she should have lost the title then yet, because I don't think there's anybody to carry it. And right now, every women's match, it's not that they're bad in the ring. It's that there's nothing for me to be invested in. Yeah. Is that fair?
That's fair.
That's fair? All right. You know, that's my Lunchable break for the week. What's your Lunchable break for the week? Let's just get the Lunchables out of the way, because I already ate lunch. Out of the way. I already ate lunch. You know what I'm saying?
You know, as much as everybody... As from what I can see, most people are...
Oh, no. This is a trigger warning. Trigger warning.
Most people are over on Ronda Rousey, and every time I see her in the ring, I just am fully out of it. I can't watch her.
She's the baddest woman on the planet.
She claims to be.
She's the baddest woman on the planet.
But when you lose matches and you know... Number one for me is her promos. She's terrible on the mic.
What you don't like 9-year-olds reading off a teleprompter promos?
She's so bad. And you know, I'll give her credit. Back when she was in the UFC, she's was the first women's champion in UFC, and
hallelujah.
That's where she got her claim to fame and her claim to being the baddest woman. But since that run, I haven't seen anything that makes her the baddest woman on the planet.
Let me get you feel like you're just getting her shoved down your throat.
Exactly. Yeah. They're forcing her on me, and I need something more than just the name Ronda.
It's like you got the old school Roman Reigns.
If Rowdy Piper was still alive, I would expect him to take that jacket away from her.
Oh no, you said it. Oh no, you. Man, he said that. He said that. Rowdy Piper gave that jacket to her.
I do. That's okay. Yeah.
Man, I think this is our first disagreement. I gotta disagree, because I'm not saying she's fired. But damn, man, I think you just put me over. She is that bad on the mic, huh?
She is. It's her promo work for me. And she's not terrible in the ring. She's not the best either. I give her a B at most.
Okay.
But her punch flurries into the chest that don't ever connect.
I did watch. I watched. I think it's Al Snow. Al Snow was doing a class, and he was explaining to a bunch of students. He was basically saying that anytime you throw a punch in wrestling, you are basically, in a sense, opening up the company. You're pulling back the curtain. You're basically, because a punch is just like Drew McIntyre's sword.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that sword ain't never going to do nothing.
Exactly.
Now, a punch to the face, one punch here or there, okay, cool. But, if you punch anybody repeatedly in the face, I expect a mark, a bruise, or something. But we know this,
Exactly.
that's not safe, unless you John Moxley or Bryan Danielson. They're in a whole different world.
Yeah.
Sheamus is in that world as well, where when you get in the ring with those men, you getting hit.
Any of the heavyweights.
You getting hit.
You get Stone Cold out there. You get Brock out there.
But not even like
even Roman Reigns.
I'm talking the brawlers,
Even Roman Reigns' Superman punch, I can get behind,
Yes, I can get behind the Superman punch because it's one hit.
It's one, exactly.
I do agree with the boss man, Matt. Every time I see it coming, I always wonder why a wrestler doesn't just step to the left. Take a step to the left.
I'll give you that.
Take a step to the left. You know what I'm saying?
Move out of the way.
Same thing with AJ Styles and his phenomenal form. Just take a step back and watch him fall on his face. Or
you can pull the edge and just spear him out of the air.
Right. Or pull a Riddle and just arc. Riddle, by the way, you know what? I'm going to throw this as a random fire. This is undeniable. Even if I did some research, even Randy Orton flat out said that he couldn't do it. He was impressed as heck that it was done. But when Riddle pulled the RKO off the top rope, oh my goodness.
I'll give you that. Beautiful. Undeniable
fire. Yeah, that's undeniable fire, you know. But, well, then, hey, you know, we'll see with Ronda, you know. Like I said, maybe she gets better. But for you, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And she still has it. I keep seeing her. It's crazy because I see her getting better and you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the matter of perception. Yeah. You know, I've been in since she first got to WWE.
Yeah.
You've come in recently.
Well, and see, I'm a huge UFC fan. I love UFC.
But can we
fighting and I'm tired of her using the baddest woman on the planet gimmick.
Is it because it's from the UFC?
Yes.
And I agree with you there.
Because she was, but at the end of her run, she got beaten so many times so badly that you can't call yourself the baddest anything when I've seen you get stomped that bad.
And for me,
any ring.
For me, UFC, it's a different universe.
Wrestling.
The wrestling, that's a different universe.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with you there because you know that a top team or whatever, America's top team, you know, I'm okay with a UFC fighter coming into the wrestling world and creating a gimmick.
Yes.
Or coming in and being something, you know, not just being who they were in UFC.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't stand Masvidal coming in or Dos Santos or any of those. I mean, heck, Johnny Knoxville came in from Jackass and he did a way better job than any of those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I do agree with you there. You know, you can be big in boxing. You can be big. It'd be the same if Floyd Mayweather came. You know, I don't want Floyd Mayweather, the boxer.
Yeah.
I want Floyd Mayweather, the wrestler. Yeah. What's the gimmick? Because in the wrestling world, and yes, they use the term universe. I don't use the term universe as in the fans. I use it as in like comparison to Marvel universe or DC universe or the Star Trek, Star Wars universe. Whatever is acceptable in our universe is acceptable. That's why I don't like words like kill, death. You know, McIntyre's sword. You know, and I'm going to throw this in there. This is a quick trash. I am tired of watching wrestlers make out on TV.
100%.
100.
Any love story.
If I want to watch Carmella and Corey Graves, I'll go to YouTube. I don't want to because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If it's not in the universe, it's not there, I don't care. You know, and
that makeout session was cringeworthy.
It was horrible.
They were eating each other's.
They were eating each other. Like he was hungry.
Yeah.
He was hungry. You know, you don't see Pat McAfee doing that. Pat McAfee eats a good meal before he performs. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I think we got our Lunchables. Our Lunchables are out of the way. Let's see. I guess I'm going to go with my fire, and this may be a little bit controversial, and we'll take a break after this one. But you know, I'm going to say my fire, Ezekiel. Why? Because I'm going to tell you why. And you didn't follow me when I first said it. You were like, oh, are you serious? Because, yes, I see where a fan comes across. You know, if you knew who Elias was, we're from Washington. I was in the Key Arena when him and Kevin Owens did that epic promo where he trashed the Sonics. And that's one thing you can't do in Washington. It's not like any other city's team that leaves. Like, there's an emotional attachment there. And the crowd, it was the longest boo in history. I was there. You know, Elias was a character. I liked his music. I loved his gimmick. And I'm okay with someone being repackaged. I'm okay with that. He comes out, and I got to tell you this. The reason why it's fire to me is because in one segment, they got me mad. They got me upset. They got me screaming at the TV. They got me laughing my butt off. And by the time it was all done, just the dumb stare look on Ezekiel's face wrapped it all up for me. And immediately, I got to say, I'm in on Ezekiel. They even did you know they even changed his Twitter and his Instagram? They even changed it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're going all in on it.
All in, and hey, but that's all I asked for. If you're gonna do something, go all in. Not just name change. They changed his name. They shaved his face, and it reminded me of when Otis shaved his face for the first time. All the wrestlers were looking at him like, "What happened to your face?" I remember Big E just roasting him.
Yeah.
Like, who did that to your face? And that's the first thing I was like, "Did you just shave your face this morning?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the reason why I really, really loved it was Kevin Owens. I mean, not enough can be said about Kevin Owens' mic skills. He literally acted as if we were when Ezekiel came out, because I'm not even going to use Elias again now. Normally, with Walter, I stuck with Walter for a while. With Butch, I stuck with Pete Dunne for a while. Nah, I felt like this was, to some people, one of the dumbest things ever done. But in my mind, it's ingenious.
Yeah.
I thought it was ingenious because we've been waiting for Ezekiel, a.k.a. Elias, to come back for a long time, just as much as we, veer. But I'm saying, are you okay with that? Is that fire? Do I get you over?
I'll give it to you. Like you said, like the boss said, he doesn't understand why they have this undying desire to change people's names.
Right.
They do it all the time, and most of the time it takes a while for the fans to get behind it.
And his didn't really make sense because I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong, but maybe so I can do some research, but I'm pretty sure WWE already owned the trademarks for Elias.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
So why did they they didn't have a reason to change?
The thing about this one specifically for me is that, like you said, everyone else, they just shove it down your throat. This one, we had that banter with KO saying, we know who you are, so it gives us...
What do you say? Your name's... it doesn't matter what your name is.
Exactly, yeah. So I'll give it to you. That's, it's definitely... they did it the right way.
We're always mad at WWE because they do things and they don't give us an explanation.
Exactly.
I feel like... Even though it's a crazy off the wall, maybe he's broken in his head.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm interested to see where it goes because now I want to know why he thinks, I'm not looking at it as he is Ezekiel, Elias's little brother. I'm looking at it as he thinks he's Ezekiel, Elias's little brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The one thing for me is he looks older than Elias, so why would you call yourself his little brother? Like you come out there, even with your
said twin.
Exactly, even with your beard shaved, you look old compared to how Elias looked a year ago.
All right, so we'll revisit Ezekiel.
It will definitely have to be more.
But can we agree that right now it's fire?
Right now it's fire.
Right now it's on. All right, Elias, aka Ezekiel, right now on the fire list. I know we got to put commercials in this thing, so we just gonna take a break. Right, meow. We are back. It's your boy Kanye, Twitty, and
your boy Nemean Lion.
Yeah, we gotta keep name dropping our names because you guys just met us. You might know me, but you don't know my boy. And hey, real quick, why don't you give them a little, quick, background on your wrestling? Like what is wrestling to you? Where you came in, that sort of thing.
I've been a diehard wrestling fan since I can remember, since childhood, and watched throughout end of the run of WCW and the great late 90s, early 2000s the Attitude Era of WWE, Stone Cold, The Rock, and that was when I was in it the most. That was when, undeniably what made me a diehard fan. Yeah. Stone Cold, The Rock, that era of just greatness.
Yeah.
And then, that was when I was, 10 to 15. And then once I got into high school, kind of took a break from wrestling because, life happens and
we get older. We
do, our interests change, but, I recently got back in maybe a year and a half ago. And
what you think about AEW?
That's what's kept me in it. AEW is my main excitement for the week, every week. Don't get me wrong, WWE is the end all be all of wrestling. It's the
pinnacle.
It's the pinnacle of wrestling. Anybody who wants to be a wrestler dreams of being in the WWE.
Yeah, I don't care who you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If WWE calls you and they make you an offer, you're gonna consider it, whether
right.
Whether or not it's the right business move or not. But that's what everybody dreams of. So don't get me wrong. WWE is what it is. It's the great.
It's the promised land.
It's the promised land. But AEW right now has just. They're giving the fans what they want,
Exactly.
They're taking all of WWE's missteps and using them to their advantage. Perfect example, William Regal.
Yes, William Regal.
Dropping people like Keith Lee.
Keith Lee, Adam Cole.
Keith Lee needs a little bit of work, but
yeah, he does.
He's a beast, and he deserves to be in a promotion that's going to put him on TV.
Right,
right. He's what they call a needle mover. When he comes on, people chant.
They pay attention.
They pay attention because they know that he's gonna wreck house. AEW has reinstilled my invigoration for the wrestling world.
Yeah, for me it was NXT.
Yeah,
NXT is what got me back in. The Undisputed Era, all these main roster superstars. From your Damian Priest to your Adam Coles, like I got to see them all. And including our hometown boy Swerve. Is it Strickland now? Swerve Strickland. Swerve Scott. Tacoma boy. But hey, like I said, this is the WTFW podcast, episode 1. And we don't have a what do you call it?
No script.
No script. Nothing.
Unfiltered.
This is
raw
us.
knee-jerk reactions. We are just firing off with each other and just having fun.
Yeah, because we don't have to review shows. You got plenty of other things for that. You got Ritter and Matt doing all the review shows. You got your AEW review shows, but we want to do something a little different because I know a lot of people are waiting for it. I know a lot of people that know who I am and know what I do. They're waiting for the trash. But this episode's beautiful because it's going to be unique. Because I have to admit, the whole week, I don't care what promotion it was, all of WrestleMania, Stand and Deliver, Raw, SmackDown, Rampage, all of it. Yes, we do drink a brew while we are doing our podcast. That is true. So there may be a burp from now and then. But the bottom line is fire. This week of wrestling was fire. It's the week that as a wrestling fan you look forward to every year. They can all crap the bed all year long. WrestleMania week, give it to me.
Yeah.
And I believe that everybody gave it to me. And that's going to bring me to one of my next fire moments. And it just happened. It's Thursday now. It's going to be Friday when we air this. But it just happened on Wednesday night. If you have not, and I know you haven't seen the match yet. We're going to watch it afterwards. But I'm talking, match of the year potential candidate, hands down. And yes, Becky and Bianca put on a barn burner. They did. But as I called that a 4.8, 4.7 match. But after what I saw last night between FTR and the Young Bucks, that is a match. If you like tag team wrestling, it was something I looked forward to. It's the reason why I watched.
I'm looking forward to it.
You know what I'm saying? It's the whole reason why I watched, as tired as I was last night. Because, like I said, me and my boy, we work at the same place. We work a lot of hours. And I was tired. You were tired. You went home.
Yeah.
The match was amazing. I think the thing that really did it for me is that FTR, when they were in WWE, they were over on NXT, but they just never got over on the main roster. And I was one of those people where I just felt like they were generic. They looked like your poster child, copy and paste tag team from back in the late 80s, early 90s. But I done my research and they are one of the top tag teams in the world. Like they go to all these promotions
of all time.
Yeah, they go to so many promotions. They win titles everywhere, just like the Young Bucks. And you know how over I am on the Young Bucks. We'll save that for another day. But I mean, the Young Bucks in my mind are, them and the Usos and FTR. Those are my top 3 tag teams right now.
In the game right now,
Period.
Those 3 are undeniably.
It's undeniable. There's no gimmick. There's no nothing. It is literally, they are that.
You can put them in the ring with anybody, even the worst tag team, and they'll make them look good.
And to round it off for 4 people, I would put the New Day up in there.
Yeah.
The New Day may not be the same when they're individuals, but the New Day with any of those teams is undeniable. Yeah. And I've told you about, because I read the Young Bucks book over COVID, and there is a match. It's the match that I want to see. I don't think anybody has video proof of it, but there was a tryout match between the Young Bucks and the Usos. and it is known in the inner circles as the greatest match never aired. But back to my point, the reason why FTR is fire is because those boys do work. And for all that they went through, we saw that gruesome injury that Wheeler had when he caught his arm on the turnbuckle. The bottom line is the crowd is over. The crowd is over on FTR, and I've never heard FTR actually completely cheered and put over so bad, and it's beautiful to me because they're doing it without having to be a baby face.
Yeah, it is,
because in my mind they're not a heel or baby face. They remind me of Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
They just showed up, did their job, wrecked people, and took titles and left. And
when you're that good, it doesn't matter. And
that is why FTR, in my mind, that's a fire moment. I'm going to save your fire moment for after this. We're going to do my last fire moment. It's undeniable. I think this is something that we both will agree on. Pat McAfee, period. Amazing. Amazing. He didn't even know the fact that he probably did the best selling job on a stunner that I've ever seen, and he didn't even know it was coming. Listen to his podcast. He said flat out he had no idea that he was getting stunned by Stone Cold. And when he had the mouthful of beer and shot it up in the air, fell down, even after he got stunned, he's out there on the floor pouring beer in his mug. The way he did it in the ring, I actually saw the NXT run. Okay, I already knew. I don't consider Pat McAfee a celebrity in the ring. He can go. He has put in the work for years. It has been his dream to be a wrestler, and it shows. So the whole thing with Pat McAfee, he had the greatest weekend ever. He got to have a WrestleMania match and win. He got to fight Vince McMahon and lose, which doesn't matter. You lose to Vince McMahon, that don't matter. You're still going over. You win the ring with Vince McMahon.
You're fighting with the boss.
But then he immediately goes in and gets to have a beer with Stone Cold and get stunned out of his gourd. Yeah. Out of his gourd. He sold it better than Vince.
Hands down, yeah.
Oh.
We'll leave that for another day. Vince's sell on the stunner was a little bit... it left a little bit to be desired.
But for me, it's okay because
he's the boss.
Yeah. No, it's not because he's the boss. It's okay because the reaction from Stone Cold as soon as it happened. I have never seen Stone Cold in the ring breaking the fourth wall and just having a blast. He laughed his butt off, and it was great to me. So hands down, Pat McAfee, episode 1, because I want Pat McAfee on our show.
Oh yeah, that's the dream. Yeah, Pat McAfee right now is. Everything the man is doing is just...
beyond the, WWE Podcast, host, Ritter and, Ashley Mann, Matt and everybody, I gotta say, Pat McAfee is the real reason that pushed me to really want to do this the right way, They get to do and say anything he wants.
He does what he wants, and he gets what he wants.
And he gets what he wants.
The man, he's a Renaissance man. He does stand-up comedy.
He doesn't break kayfabe on his own show.
Yeah, ever. Yeah.
Because he's still, Adam Cole's still a scumbag.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
I bet Austin Theory going to talk trash about him for the next year.
Yeah.
Hands down, Pat McAfee, from the interviews that he brought, onto his show with Vince McMahon, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, to, the way that he is not only a fan, but a commentator at the same time. The fact that he doesn't listen to meetings, he doesn't go into meetings, and he specifically makes sure that Adam Cole or Michael Cole doesn't tell him things that are happening. You get those real reactions from him, and I gotta say, fire 100% in my mind. Are we in agreement? It's Pat McAfee.
Undoubtedly.
That takes care of my fire. You got one more? I
got one more fire for you guys. I think this is undeniably as well. For the past month.
Yeah, so I think it was like 43 days something.
Everybody's known. I'll just say it. Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that he left AEW and signed to WWE.
We knew.
But pure silence from him. Nobody knew where he was, what he was doing. We knew he was signed, but we didn't know when or where he was coming back.
It was all third party. We never heard nothing from him.
For 3 weeks, the crowd has been chanting, Cody Rhodes, Cody. You know, and there was no way that they could bring anybody else out to fight Seth Rollins.
None.
Without just losing the entire crowd.
We talked about this. The only other person, I mean, because I said the only other person that
there was a couple people
would be like a Bray Wyatt.
Would be okay.
But it's not. It wouldn't.
Yeah, you needed it for the fans because that's what everybody wanted. The entire WWE universe wanted Cody to fight Seth Rollins, and the match at WrestleMania was one of the best matches of the week.
It's hard to say, you know, what the best match of the night.
They were all so good
because there's so many good ones.
Yeah,
you know.
But for Cody to come out there,
it was a clinic.
It was a clinic.
I think that's what Matt said too.
You put both of these
professional
A-list superstars.
Oh God, he said A-list
in a match together.
Trash.
They are going to, like you said, put on a clinic.
Yes.
It was, you know, I've been a Cody Rhodes fan since I was a kid.
Really?
Even
not a lot of people can say that.
Even when he was Stardust, I loved it.
See, when he was Stardust, like for me, because I was older, I was into Goldust.
Yeah,
Stardust. That's why I loved Stardust to me was almost like now looking back, it's a Lunchable.
We all knew that he was Dustin Rhodes' little brother, so it was. I thought it was a cool gimmick back then that they were. You know, Goldust, Stardust, it fit.
See, I got one. In my personal opinion, I got one word for the Stardust gimmick: trash. I'm just saying, but I see where you're coming from. I see it.
You know, it wasn't the greatest, but I thought it fit for who they were. The two brothers, the gimmicks lined up.
Sort of like me with Ezekiel.
Yeah,
it's working.
It worked. Yeah,
it's working.
But when I got back into wrestling a year and a half ago. All I saw was Cody Rhodes on AEW just putting in work and
getting booed.
Out
the house.
Every time he came on, and he's one of the main reasons AEW is even a thing.
Yes.
And the fact that he had go away. He was at his in his own promotion was just it hurt me in my heart to see him not get the respect he deserves because the man can wrestle
and he's done the work
and he you know in so many promotions he's been all over the world. He's a worldwide star. You know, and not only is he amazing in the ring, but his promos, you know, he gets that diehard emotion, and whether you want to be behind him or not, the things he says, you listen, and you can't argue with him even if you want to. So, my man, Cody Rhodes, pop that he got, it was well-deserved, and I'm happy to see him getting his dues back. And I'm happy to see the promo he did on Monday. He's going to bring that gold to his family. Yeah. You know?
That makes you invest.
It's so
whether you love him or hate him.
So much investment to see him, you know, honor, like you know, Dusty Rhodes is, whether you like the boss said, whether you know him or not, he's undeniably one of the biggest stars in the industry.
They have a whole, you know, tournament named after him. Yeah. You know, NXT, he is known, you know, it was him and Regal and Triple H that really, I mean, I know this for a fact, Dusty Rhodes is directly influenced, you know, the whole class with Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Kevin Owens, you know, Sami Zayn, all them. So I gotta agree with that. But the funny thing that I have to say though is, you know, in AEW, you know, everybody wanted him to turn heel. I was one of those. I was like, turn heel. And that's why they were booing him out the building, because he was getting that old school Roman treatment, that old school Cena treatment. In a way, to AEW fans, he turned heel. All he had to do was go to the other company.
That's the biggest heel move.
But he got to keep his babyface character. Exactly. And I will say this: I was out on the end of his AEW run. Because it just, to me, it was stale. Yeah. And I felt like he just kept getting pushed into the story, and it was getting pushed down my throat. So I was one of those people that was booing him out the building. The minute that he showed up, and we were both sitting here, you know, the minute he showed up, and it was cool because I saw the picture of his tattoo before you realized who it was. Yeah. and I jumped out of my seat. I was on the other side of the couch, hands out in the air, and you're like, what? Oh, that was a pop that we got at home. You got it in the stadium. You got it if you read about it.
Yeah.
And so, I have to agree with you 100% in every way, shape, or form. Absolute, undeniable fire. Cody Rhodes, can't wait to see what happens.
The American Nightmare, man. We'll see more from him for sure.
All right. That takes care of all our fire, by the way. Our fire's out of the way.
I mean, we could keep going with with this last week. We could keep going. I mean, there's so many.
I mean, give me some quick fires. I mean, what else just stood out just quickly?
Which should be on our list, the Undertaker in the Hall of Fame.
Undertaker. I was mad at some point because WWE made me cry all day Saturday.
The 10 minutes of just non-stop cheering for the man.
If you have not seen the Hall of Fame induction, 10 to 15 minutes.
He couldn't even get a word in.
It was
not only because they were cheering, but because he was so emotional himself.
And I didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
I didn't want to stop. How many times are you sitting at home? You guys right there, listen to this show. Yeah. How many times are you actually just sitting at home in your own house and you find yourself hollering? You find yourself standing up clapping. You find because we do that. Yeah. And the Undertaker, that is fire in every way, shape, form. Yeah. I have to say, Triple H getting the opportunity to open up night 2.
Yep. Stone Cold, of course, fire.
Stone Cold across the board.
Yeah, across the board.
He looked good.
He looked way better than I expected him to look.
I had no idea. If you had told me that's how. I mean, yes, I will say this in my technical speaking, they really protected him, but. No matter how much they protected him, he is a professional, and he wanted to show
on the concrete,
suplex on the concrete.
The man's is still the GOAT. Edge and his faction with Damian Priest.
Edge's entrance, fire,
hands down one of the best.
Becky Lynch's gear. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The black eye to Bianca Belair. I mean, I know that sucks that it was real.
Yeah.
But that shows how hard those girls were working.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yes, the fire list for the week literally could go on and on and on. But that's not ultimately what we're here for because you got the review shows for that. And everybody's already talked about all this, right? So we're gonna get into what we like to call the trash. But we got to take one more break. I know we have to get some commercials in here. Matt, cue the commercial, baby. We'll be right back. Okay, where you at? We are back. Kanye, Twitty.
And the Mean Lion.
Oh, man. We here, and I know that if you followed me from the WWE Podcast mailbag, this whole show, I'm gonna give a quick shout out here. I've said it before. Big shout out to Matt and the WWE Podcast, and that includes everybody: Ashley, Mann, Michael Ritter, all the people in the Patreon. They've made it so fun. I mean, during COVID, and all that, I had to find other things to do. But, my passion for wrestling was real, and, to really just shoot the crap and find a network, a family, if you will, of people, to talk wrestling and get excited about it. That's where this come from. I called in and I just started it one day. I just decided to do a trash list. And since then, multiple wrestlers, I'm calling it out. Kevin Owens did it. DJ Kuzmo, I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Rhea Ripley. Somebody, he sent me a clip. Somebody else used the trash term just this last week. I feel like, I'm just going to say it, I feel like people listening. I feel like they heard me. It's us.
Yeah.
It's me. It's the trash list, and this is going to be it's going to end up becoming as viral and as well known as David Meltzer and his nonsense that he does. I'm just saying it. We're going worldwide. We're going worldwide with this, But on that note, okay, y'all, it's time. You've been waiting all episode for it. You knew it was coming. It's time for the trash. And I'm going to let my boy kick it off. What's your first trash moment of the week?
Okay, so my favorite wrestler, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Brock Lesnar.
Hurt.
Hands down, the Beast Incarnate. Every time he's in that ring, He just puts in work and makes everybody look good.
Okay.
But unfortunately, my first trash is the fact that I personally knew that Brock was losing that title match at WrestleMania. We've seen so much of Brock this year, and we know because of how big a superstar he is. He's expensive.
He's on an appearance contract.
He costs a lot of money.
Yes, he does.
I believe it's something like $500,000 for each appearance.
And we've gotten him on so many shows. For a long time.
And, Roman is, he's the face of WWE right now.
No, he's not the face. He is the head of the table. Okay. Yes. No, he is the tribal chief. Okay. Like we the ones.
All right.
Okay.
All right. The bloodline. I'll acknowledge him.
Thank you. You heard it here first. We are acknowledging.
In my heart of hearts, I wanted Brock to win that match because not only is he my favorite wrestler, but this run he's been on is just so good. He never used to speak. He's so good on the mic now. Just his shoots and the way that he just fires off what he wants to say, and the crowd's behind him. But
he's fulfilled his contract.
This baby face Brock is great, and
that's not a popular opinion.
But
not everybody likes it. I love it. I'm with you.
No, I agree. Like it's controversial, but undeniably Brock is one of the greats, and like you said, he's fulfilled his contract, and ultimately, that was the one match that I knew that there was no doubt in my mind that he was losing that match, because if he kept the unified title, not only that,
right,
but
he'd have to be around.
He would have to be not only on SmackDown but on Raw as well.
Right.
That's so many appearances, and they can't afford him.
Yeah.
So I knew right away that's trash to me that we can't.
They can't afford it.
They can't afford it,
And I'm with you, so I say we be in agreement on this. The fact that we know, and what it boils down to is that we already know how much he costs. We know he's on an appearance pay schedule. So we know that we probably are A, not going to get him for a while, or B, he can't be there on longevity. But there's a part of me that wants to just appreciate, though. Can't we just appreciate the fact we get this long run with him?
I'm appreciative. Don't get me wrong.
He'll be back.
I love this run.
You just want more.
The thing that makes it trash for me is that there was no surprise in that match for me. It took the surprise of the match. I knew Brock was losing, and that's what's trash to me.
There was nothing.
There was no doubt in my mind that Brock was losing that match, even though Brock, in my head, Brock beats Roman 9 times out of 10.
In the past, he has beat him 9 times out of 10.
every WrestleMania appearance, even Roman said it. He's never beaten Brock at WrestleMania, and that's another reason I knew this. The run that Roman's on is undeniably one of the biggest tears in WrestleMania, or just wrestling history in general. And
I'm okay with it for another year. By the way, you keep that title on him for another year. I'm okay with it.
It's he's solidifying his mark in the list of the GOATs, but
no Brock knowing that you're gonna get less of Brock from here on out. That's what's trash.
Yes,
trash. So we agree. Trash. All right, I'm gonna go with my trash moment, and hey, I'm a fan. I'm not. We ain't getting paid by WWE. We ain't getting paid by Matt. We ain't getting paid by nobody. Lunchable doesn't pay us nothing, even though they're our unofficial official sponsor. But my trash moment from first of all, I was tired of crying during WrestleMania. Okay, there was
so many good moments
from the Hall of Fame, the Undertaker, all that made me cry. But I gotta say this: I was there at SummerSlam. I bought a ticket banking that Becky Lynch was going to show back up, and she did. And I'm a Becky Lynch fan. The man, the big time backs. I don't care what I am all in. I've been in since the beginning, and that is my wrestler, in the women's side. And I got to say, her losing the title to me, trash, absolute trash. Why? Because Becky Lynch just finally turned the corner. She finally turned the corner on being a heel. Not only herself, but she got the crowd to turn the corner with her. And that took from SummerSlam all the way until about 2 weeks before WrestleMania. And in my mind, not just as a fan, but as a critique and as, you know, as doing what we doing, she had to win. In my mind, that was the moment that you could piss the crowd off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew that Bianca was going to get it. Yeah. We knew. But that was a moment where I feel they could have gone the other way. And me as a fan, I don't care who she's fighting. I don't care if she's fighting Ronda Rousey, Godzilla, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. I don't care if she's fighting the whole roster. I want Becky Lynch to win every time because Becky Lynch, that's my girl. That's my wrestler. And I don't care what happens. It's trash because to me, you know, I will admit it. You know, no jokes aside, all jokes aside, it was a slight tear to my eye. And I know you saw it. You let me have my moment while we were sitting here because I wasn't ready for Becky to drop that title, and not because of storyline purposes. I just wasn't ready myself, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens after this. She, in my mind, deserves her and Seth Rollins both deserve some time off to do the family thing. Yeah. She came back early to do SummerSlam and get ready for WrestleMania. But for me, Becky Lynch losing any title. Trash. What do you think?
You know, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this.
You know what? I'm gonna call that trash.
I think if anybody in WWE right now in the women's division deserves it, it's Bianca. And I think that
she had it though.
But so did Becky. I mean, they both had their runs prior to this. So
I was fine. You know what? I'll be honest with you. At the beginning of that match, when in the very beginning, I thought she was really going to beat her in 26 seconds again.
Don't get me wrong. Becky Lynch is. I didn't watch her when she was the man. I didn't see her. You know, all I've known of Becky Lynch is Big Time Bex.
Yeah, I had to show you the rise of the man.
You know, I've seen her matches. I've seen her NXT run and all that.
Take over Brooklyn.
You know, her and Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair and all that back in the day. But, you know, I will give it to you, for me as a fan that's new to Becky Lynch, she is one that has also gotten a lot better, especially in her promos.
Yes.
Her mic skills have gotten exponentially better since when I first saw her. You know, she's always been pretty decent on the mic, but her past few promos have been...
They were the best of the heel.
They've been exceptional.
They even got me to, I love this about today's product, and AEW is really good about this. They have baby faces that I want to boo, and they also have heels that I want to cheer. Yeah. Roman Reigns is a heel, y'all. Roman Reigns is a heel. You're supposed to be, even if you love him and support him, you're supposed to be booing him. Yeah, cheer him when he comes out, but you're supposed to be booing him. Yeah. You know, and Becky had that huge problem because she is... I was one that wasn't ready for the heel turn. It was too soon. Yeah. But now it made sense. Yeah. It made sense to me now. But, you know, I guess that's why it hurts for me, is because it took so long for her to get there. Yeah. And now I don't think that she can stay a heel. You know, I think she has to actually, her character, I think Big Time Bex was a very short-lived iteration of her character. Yeah. And now when she comes back, it has to be something almost like she has to evolve in something. You know what I'm saying? Like Bianca in my mind, Bianca put down the Big Time Bex character. Yeah. And maybe that's why I think it's trash, because I finally had just gotten into Big Time Bex. Yeah. All right. So we disagree?
We disagree.
All right. But I'm going to tell you this. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's Becky Lynch, I'm always going to be Becky. Yeah. Always.
No, and don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Becky Lynch. I just don't think it's trash that she lost the title. I think Bianca earned it.
Yeah, and I will admit this. Bianca Belair is a star. I mean,
she is picking up dewdrops and putting in work in the ring.
She is a star.
You know, she's a star. And not only that, but she's so over. The crowd loves her. And that's the biggest thing, you know.
Hey, my fandom's still coming out. Trash! Trash! Go right. All right, so we disagree on that one. What's your next trash, Mo? What else is trash?
All right, so the match between Sheamus and Ridge Holland versus the New Day. It got cut from the first day because they went too long, and we knew the match was going to be short on the second day. But I was ultimately disappointed, and I thought it was trash that Sheamus and Ridge won that match. You know, I thought it was the perfect opportunity. New Day came out in Big E's gear.
By the way, quick fire. The gear, the homage to Big E.
Big E, his props. You know, Big E is a superstar through and through. And
I don't believe we'll ever see him again. I'm going to say it right now. I don't think we ever see him wrestle
like
again.
That, you know, that's like Stone Cold. You know, but when you break your neck, that's like Sting. That's like Stone Cold. These guys, it took years and years before these guys could come back. It's possible, do anything.
But look at someone like Paige.
Yeah,
she still ain't come back.
Like Big E said it himself. He was an inch away from death.
Yes.
On the break in his neck. You know, we could have literally watched a man die in the ring or on the side of the ring. And I thought it was the perfect opportunity for New Day to get there.
And you're not even a New Day real like you normally don't want them to win.
Not at all. You know, I'm more of a fan of Sheamus.
Yes,
not Ridge. You know, I've never really been much of a fan of Ridge Holland, but Sheamus, he's completely over for me.
By the way, live shows that I've been to, one of the top 5 performers in the ring I've ever seen live, Sheamus.
Yeah, Sheamus. He puts in work, and even when and he makes the crowd, whether they are mad or happy, he makes the crowd. He does
his job.
Yeah, he does his job.
And he's a brawler in the
Sheamus
ring.
is. I'm a bigger fan of him than New Day, but I thought this was the perfect opportunity, especially the way they came out in, like I said, in Big E's gear. This was the opportunity for them to get some retribution for Big E's neck break. You know, Ridge Holland, he's
and didn't he beat Kofi like right afterwards too?
Yeah, you know, he's got some making up to do. He's an injury prone dude.
He's not only injury prone himself, but I'm gonna say it, and like I said, we are just only in this situation. Just to clarify, no, we're not talking about Ridge Holland, the human being. Okay, I don't even know his real name. You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm just talking in the wrestling world.
In the wrestling world,
but also as a performer. In my mind, I'm out on Ridge. I'm out on Ridge.
Your spots are bad.
I'm out on Ridge.
You know, you're breaking your legs. You're getting your face broken. You're breaking people's necks.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is just ultimately, whether you're getting injured or injuring other people, there's something off there.
Because the minute that happens, there's a chance that you're taking a superstar off the roster.
Yeah. And not only that, but now every time you get in the ring, people are going to be apprehensive to wrestle against you because they're afraid to hurt you and they're afraid you're going to hurt them.
And that creates the worst matches is when two people in the ring don't trust each other. And as a fan, I don't trust Ridge Holland.
Ultimately, the fact that New Day didn't get some retribution from Big E.
They should have squashed them.
Trash. We knew the match was going to be short. It should have been a squash. They should have came in and just cleaned house, and that should have been it.
Yeah.
And then they should have, walk out in Big E's gear.
Ridge Holland, I'm sorry, bruh. Trash. The fact you still winning matches. Trash. The fact you're winning matches over the New Day. Trash. All right, I'm going to go up to the next trash moment, and I'm just going to say this: the Raw. I'm sorry, Matt. I know Matt thought the Raw was a good Raw. But he did say that, if you compared Raw the WrestleMania after WrestleMania Raw, if you compare it to any other regular Raw not after WrestleMania, he's like, it's a pretty damn good show. To me, I'm sorry. I'm not giving WWE any slack on this one. All right. The Raw after WrestleMania, since I was a little kid, because I didn't always get the pay-per-views, but I always knew the Raw after the pay-per-views when they were always on Sundays. Yeah. That was the best show of the year.
Well, to be fair, the boss did say that they felt complacent. They felt like WrestleMania was so good that it didn't matter what they did. We're going to tune in.
And that's why I ain't giving them no slack. No. They outperformed on WrestleMania. I'm going to say it.
Oh, yeah.
They went above and beyond. They reminded us why we have been invested in a WWE product for so long. But I don't care, though. I'm sorry. But WWE needs to look at Raw after WrestleMania as part of WrestleMania. And 100%. The Raw after WrestleMania for me was, seriously, like the most notable moment out of it that I got was Ezekiel. You know? Yeah, you had Braun Breaker win the NXT title, you know, and you had Roman Reigns show up and all, but you didn't give me the moment at the end of the show, because even at the end of the show, after they put the logo up, I was still watching.
Yeah.
You were even looking at it. You're like, oh, okay, you know, there's like 4 minutes left. There's like 3 minutes left. Like, what's going on? And I sat here and waited. At that point, you could have given me anybody.
Yeah.
But to end with Roman just standing there, victorious, it fell flat.
It was the perfect moment.
It was a waste. It was a perfect. Matt said that he's off the Rock train. I'm not.
Well, I see where he's coming from, though. You know, because you can only have those expectations for so long before you're disappointed.
Did
too
they
much.
not? Maybe so, I think the only reason why, and here's the mess.
I don't think it's not going to happen.
I think they just didn't want to
put my eggs in that basket.
They didn't want to outshine Cody. I think that's what happened. Monday night was Cody. That was a moment for him.
It was a beautiful moment.
It was a moment, you know, and
that's why it was on my fire list.
You know, I think that's ultimately why they didn't want to outshine that. But I'm just saying, next year, be better.
Yeah,
be better. No, Raw after WrestleMania. I don't care what
Veer Mahan wasn't enough.
Hey, but by the way, Veer Mahan, end all be all. We're all in.
Oh,
we're all in.
Yeah.
Because what I don't know if anyone from the mailbag had noticed.
The man's is squashing everybody.
Like, I left the mailbag, and I've been a ghost from the WWE podcast because we wanted to do some research, we wanted to get our stuff together, right? Yeah. But at the same time, I decided that we weren't, because we were going to do this weeks ago, and then it was weeks later, and then we're like after WrestleMania. But we actually decided that we weren't going to debut our episode until Veer Mahan showed up. Because as of right now, the official mascot, the official no holds bar, we all in to the moon, beyond a shadow of a doubt, until proven otherwise, we all in on Veer. I'm all in on Veer. You with me on this? You want to roll with me on this?
I'm all in with you, even whether, you know, it doesn't matter. The man is clearly, he's been working his ass off. He looked so good.
Wow.
He is tore up.
I remember, and you never got to see it, but I remember, you know that Grayson Waller has that bodyguard in NXT? That was Veer Mahan's brother and his tag team partner, and we got to see them in the Saudi Arabia show, I believe it was, or India. You know, and yes, it was because of where they were at that they showcased them.
Yeah. But
at the same time, I've said this the whole way, and I said it back then. Veer Mahan, I even said it on the review show after the draft. Veer Mahan, huge pickup on any roster. He is, in my mind, a bona fide superstar that can beat anybody. But at the same time, he could be beat by somebody.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I'm all in on him, because...
Well, yeah, you put him in the heavyweight class with guys like Drew McIntyre.
Yes, they can have
Roman
feuds.
Reigns. They can go all out.
Yes,
and
it's
give
believable.
us some barn burners.
Right. So, yes, Veer Mahan, we're all in on. That's a quick fire, but we're going to get back to the trash. I got my trash in, so, I've been waiting for this one. So what's your next trash moment?
My next trash, KO mocking Stone Cold. Don't get me wrong, KO is amazing.
What do you call that?
He is a superstar.
You're calling it
trash. The fact that you don't put somebody like Stone Cold's name in the dirt like that. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you done. Stone Cold is a legend.
Let's give some background.
Let me repeat that. He is a legend. And
he's a goat.
He is one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. And you cannot, as someone like KO's great. His, like you said earlier, his mic skills are undeniable.
But you just saw the Evil episode where the Miz
did the same thing with The Rock, yeah, and everyone hated him, and that's where I'm at now. That's why it is trash. Because KO, I was a huge fan, and now I'm getting to the point where I don't.
But now that it's over, like, you could be back being a fan. Like, that was momentarily.
Yeah. For sure.
That was WrestleMania.
It gave me that, and I even said it while we were watching all of those promos. I kept saying to Kanye here, he's making me hate him. And I like KO. So, him...
You know what he's doing? his job.
And he did his job well.
It's not go away.
That's why he's not a Lunchable.
He's got real heat with you.
He gave real heat to me, and that's why he was trash.
Trash. I'm gonna give a little background insight on this, and like this is no joke. We were sitting here watching it together, and no joke. But when not the Miz. Oh gosh. By the way, anytime I say that word, can we just say trash?
Trash.
Yeah, Miz. Trash. That's another story, another day. But anyways,
we'll get to that.
We're sitting there watching it, and when KO, when the music hit, Stone Cold's music hit, I looked at you and I go, "Oh, he trolling," and you were like, "No." Like they got you on the first one, right?
When that glass shattered,
they got you.
I thought for sure
they got you
because he was mocking him.
Yeah.
You know, if I was Steve Austin and KO came out doing that, I would have.
But you were in. They got you
and just stomped.
But but after he comes in, he does his thing. If you've seen it, you know that he hits the music again. So you think Stone, and I'm going to tell you this, my boy was all in again. And I was rolling.
I thought for sure that second time.
I was rolling.
And
they got you.
They got me again. Like you said, he did his job. And that's why why he made the trash list.
WWE did their job. And Kevin Owens did his job. Yeah. So
I do have to give it to KO because we were watching how it was almost word for word him. His promos.
You talking about that promo they showed where he was
imitating Stone Cold's promos, and it was almost word for word, and it was perfect.
That was neat.
He did it great. That's why like you said, it was WrestleMania in the moment. I'll give it to KO. But he's only on the trash list.
But this is our list.
Exactly.
He's trash. Yeah. The same reason why Becky Lynch is on my trash list is the same reason because my fandom. Yeah. My fandom. Because that's what we do. Yeah. Our fandom is included in this. Yeah. We're like Pat McAfee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's going to be
we're diehard fans. Yeah. We've been fans since we were kids.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of wrestling and I tell people when they're at my house and they're watching it for the first time or watching it, for the first time in a long time, I'm like, hey, you can literally watch any match and just pick somebody. Just pick somebody to win
for no reason,
or pick someone to hate.
Yeah,
it's like speaking of which, a side project. It's a lot like the NCAA tournament bracket. There's a lot of us that do a lot of research on that thing, right?
Yep.
And every year I did so much research. Watch the shows. Really broke it down. And I fill out my bracket. Every year I've lost, right? This year I literally just took 4 minutes. Didn't know anything and filled it out. I called my bracket Baracket Obama and picked North Carolina to win. And guess what? I won my bracket.
You made it all the way to the end.
All the way to the end. And I won it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like in wrestling, that's the beauty of it. Any match, anytime, you can get involved with it in any way. Yeah. You could just pick someone to boo. You could boo someone because of what they're wearing. Yeah. You could boo someone because of what they said. You could like someone because of how they look. But that is the beauty of wrestling, and you're not committed. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Once you cheer someone for a match, you don't have to cheer them all the way. For every match. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's so beauty about it is it allows you to invest the emotions that you want to and feel involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for this one, I'm gonna say. Yes, it's your trash
for the week, for the moment.
No, and that's what we do here.
It's trash.
That's what we do here.
Trash.
It's trash. And you know
what?
KO's
great. I'm gonna get back behind him.
I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna roll with you on this one. I will roll with you on this one.
Legendary status of Stone Cold.
Now that you put it that way, I'm like, yeah, if I was, and I am a huge fan of Stone Cold, and there is a part of me that feels exactly how you feel. Yeah. I think it's more the critique side of me that critiques the product, where I'm like, no, it's beautiful, but that actually is a great way. You can make the trash list by doing your job.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what this is.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is on the trash list not because he's trash, not because what he did was trash, but because he did his job so well that it is our responsibility.
Yeah.
To put him on the trash list.
And recognize that I am mad about it.
All right. Then let's see. Do I got more trash? I do. And we're going to go to AEW. We're going to go to AEW. And I know this is one we don't agree on. Okay. I already know. If you don't know already, the Hardy Boys have reunited in AEW. However, the Hardys. My bad.
Yeah.
The Hardy Boys was a book, wasn't it?
No, the Hardy Boys was their gimmick in WWE.
What about? I think of a book like that we read when we were kids. Like
there might have been.
It was book, like they were. I think they were investigators or whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone out there knows what I'm talking about. It was a book that
their gimmick in WWE was the Hardy Boys.
Okay,
but in AEW,
they're the Hardys. Okay, that's what I didn't realize. All right, no, they will always be the Hardy Boys.
Of course, me too. Me as well.
But I gotta say
that's
this:
our fandom.
My final trash, besides our quick hits at the end, I'm saying the one I want to talk about is I've been a fan of Matt Hardy for a long time, and to be honest with you, in the beginning, back in the '90s, in early 2000s, I was actually more a Matt Hardy fan than a Jeff Hardy fan.
Yeah.
I just was, because I loved Matt Hardy was someone I could relate to more, I guess. And I really got into him with his different iterations of his character. Yes. The delete, the woke, all that. It was fun for me. Yeah. But when they were together, I was actually a bigger fan of Matt Hardy. I gotta say this: if you watch the AEW and watch them when the first time they came out together to save, I don't know what it was, they were coming to save somebody, probably the Jurassic Express or something, right? And they came out, and I literally saw Matt come out at the same time as Jeff, and Matt can't run down the ramp. He cannot run down the ramp. Like he literally broken. Physically can't.
He's broken.
He's not woken. He's broken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when Matt Hardy comes down the ramp, I saw Jeff, kind of look at him and be like, "Oh, don't worry, I got this." And he jogged ahead of him. I paid attention the next time they came out. The next time they came out, Jeff made sure that he came out about 4 seconds after Matt, so that way Matt could get halfway down the ramp before Jeff got in there. And then now that I've seen it, because of that, I've noticed the in-ring work. I'm not saying that Matt can't go. He can do a few things in the ring, but he can only do things from a stagnant position.
Yeah.
He can't run the ropes. He can't run down the ramp. Like, I don't know if he's got injuries, prior injuries to his hips or whatnot, or what it is.
Sure, yeah.
But the bottom line is Matt, for me, I don't want to see this version of Matt. It's the same reason why I didn't want to see the end version of Ronda Rousey in UFC getting smashed. It's the same reason why I didn't want to see Ken Shamrock when he went back to UFC, getting smashed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same reason why I haven't gone to see Korn live. I saw Korn 4 times in their heyday, their prime, everything. Yeah. I went and saw them one more time, and it wasn't the same band that I'd seen. Marilyn Manson, the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, Matt Hardy, I don't want. I'm putting him in the same, and I know you don't agree on this either, but I'm putting him in the same category as Paul White, Big Show. I don't want to see them wrestle because they don't got it. The same thing that Undertaker said. He will not go out there and perform if he cannot give you what you expect from him.
Yeah. At
that level. And in my opinion, Matt's at that level.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it. So for me, Matt Hardy, I love the fact we get to see him one more time. But I would have been fine just getting a couple matches, nostalgia. And then, you know what? Send them both back to WWE and go in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my trash from AEW is literally Matt Hardy trying to walk down the ramp. It's embarrassing. It's what's the word? Trash. You can't even see. He won't even go with me on it.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. See, I'm on the complete other side of that. I can't even give that one to you. Matt Hardy's been wrestling for longer than Stone Cold.
Awesome.
He's been. People don't even realize that Matt's been wrestling even before Jeff even started wrestling.
They started just like the Young Bucks in their backyard.
Yeah, and these two men arguably have done more to their bodies than any other wrestler of all time. These guys they've brutalized themselves for us as fans.
Okay, but what's that have to do with right now?
Right. So I think you relish in this moment that you get to see the Hardy Boys again.
You wouldn't. No. Hold up. No.
It's the same as like Sting for me. The man can he's jumping off the top of fucking ropes and stuff, but he's not doing any other rope work, ring work. He can't do more than that.
But he's also out only wrestling every now and then. Stone Cold only wrestled the one time.
Exactly.
But Matt's out there trying to be an everyday wrestler.
Well, I don't think we've seen enough to be on the trash list yet.
See, I'm older. I'm going to call my age here. I'm a little older, and so I've gotten to see the beginning and the prime of the Hardys. At this version of the Hardys, and to be honest with you, like, I'm not saying that Jeff is on that same, because Jeff is in a lot better shape than Matt. His body's in a lot better condition than Matt. Put it that way. Yeah. But even him, like, there's been a couple moves that he's done where I'm like, he's no longer jumping off the top rope for his swanton. He's falling off. I
mean,
you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to see a diminished version of the Hardys.
I think the Hardys are at that legendary status that it doesn't matter. In my opinion, it doesn't matter.
See, for me, I can't.
You just
do
relish
that.
In the moment, you know.
I can't do that.
Even like Undertaker saying he doesn't want to come out because he doesn't want to give us less than what we know of him. That's not, for me as a fan. I'm willing to see less from you because you're a legend, and
but
because I love you as a.
But you didn't see
the perfect example.
You didn't see live those matches with him and Goldberg.
Sting, you know, like
the Goldberg matches with Undertaker. If you've seen those live, you may have a different opinion because they were so bad.
Yeah,
so bad.
That's not just his fault though. That's the person he's wrestling with, because Goldberg fucking.
You know what Goldberg is to me, right? Trash. That's another story, but every time I say Goldberg, trash. The Miz, trash. All right. Okay, you know what? We're gonna revisit this one. Tell you what, we're gonna revisit this one after their next actual match.
Okay,
deal
I'm with it. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Every match that I'm seeing Matt Hardy out there, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take our last break. Then we're going to come back. We're going to close it out, and we're going to send y'all home. Hopefully not with a smile on your face. Hopefully with a scowl. I hope we make somebody mad with our trash list.
You guys get a fire lit under you and want to talk and fire back at us.
Yeah, because that's what we do. No one's safe.
Put us on the trash list.
Put us on the trash list.
You know? No one's safe.
No one's safe. And that is the number one rule here at WTFW.
No one's safe.
All right. We are back, and we're gonna close this out. We have a new I don't know what we would call it.
To the list.
A new addition to the list. We're gonna call it getting over, or going over, or getting me over. Like, it was something to that effect. You know, if you watch wrestling, what it means to go over. And we each have picked a superstar, a wrestler, professional wrestler, athlete, whatever you want to call them, on getting over. And I'm gonna let you start it off.
I'm gonna start because
who's going over on you?
The Miz.
Trash.
The Miz. He's doing his job, man, and that's ultimately after I just recently watched his the evil episode where, you know, it talks about him creating the character. You know, he did the same thing KO did with the Rock, and just got so much heat for it. And since I got back into wrestling, since I got back in the Miz, I don't want to see him. I don't want to hear his voice. If I hear awesome one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose it, you know. So but that just shows me he's doing his job, you know, and that's what the trash list is, you know. It's not. He's no longer somebody I don't want to see. Now I want to see him so I can boo him.
Right. Go away. He is lunchable.
And that's what a heel is. Somebody you want to boo. You know, and
unequivocally,
you need that. You know, you need those people that you want to boo. And I want to see him get beat. I want to boo him now. And I didn't ever even want to see him on the TV. So he's at that point where now he's getting a little over on me. Not as far as he's even close to being fired, but he is now no longer a lunchable break, and he is becoming on the trash list for me.
All right.
So I'll agree with you. He is now trash.
Trash. All right. So he's going over, moved from lunchable to the trash. But y'all know me. Still, I don't care. No matter what, Miz, trash to me. My going over is Omos. Omos has been on my lunchable for a very long time.
Since he
Since he came
out.
He's been on my Lunchable list. All the squash matches, like, it's complete Lunchable for me. Like, I eat a lot of Lunchables when he comes on TV.
Yeah.
Like, I eat a lot. Like, I'm getting full, getting fat. I got a Lunchable belly. Not a COVID belly. I got a Lunchable belly because of how much Omos I've had in my life. But I gotta say, the moment, and I knew it right before it happened, the moment that MVP turned on Bobby Lashley and aligned himself with Omos, I was like, oh man, this is good.
Exactly what Omos needed.
That's what he needed. He needed a mouthpiece. He needed someone else around him, not an AJ Styles, because AJ Styles he dumbed himself down for that. 100%. Yeah. But for me, going over finally this last week, for the first time, I did not eat a Lunchable on Omos's appearance, because he is going over on me. Is that cool? I mean,
that's cool.
Is he going over on you?
For me, Omos was never. I've been on the fence with him since the start. I'm a big guy myself, so I'm a big fan of big wrestlers. I like guys who can just come in and wreck house. So I've always given him that credit, because the man is...
Bobby Lashley knocked him down. He sold.
The man is Big Show big.
And you know I hate the Big Show.
Yeah, but
by the way, Big Show to me, trash. Back in the day, trash.
Undeniably a giant who can wreck house, and that's what Omos has always been for me. So he's never been over or under. He's just been Omos. But now I agree with you. Now with MVP by his side, I think he's gonna make some big moves. So
I agree.
I think we'll see a lot of Omos.
So going over any quick hits, any quick fires, anything else trash or fire that we missed that you just want to mention? Because, I mean, it might as well not do fire, because if we did fire, it would be all day.
Yeah, it would be
all day.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, how about this? The tag team division in the women's on WWE. It was there?
What tag team
and
division?
Now it's gone.
They just, like, the boss said it. Matt called it as well. He said, they built it for WrestleMania. Big secret, there is no women's division.
There isn't one. There's so many teams down there in NXT.
And I'm super, like, I love Rhea Ripley. I'm super over on her. She's amazing. And the fact that Liv is now with her just solidifies that. I think they're going to be a great tag team.
Not for long. Because we've all heard the rumors. Rhea Ripley's going to the Edge faction.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
You never know.
We'll never know.
Especially in wrestling.
Never say never.
Rumors are rumors.
Right.
Until they actually happen. So, but I agree with you 100%. The women's division,
tag team division.
The women's tag team division is just.
And they have so much talent down there in NXT.
Yeah,
they have the tag teams.
I think that's the move going forward. You have in NXT, you got Toxic Attraction. You got.
I mean, even Raquel and Dakota. And then you got what's their names? Gosh, I always forget their names. It's Carter and the other girl. I mean, they're amazing. They're an actual tag team, and they're big on TikTok and all that. But you have the tag teams there.
Yes,
and that's what I want. I want to see an influx, not in the women's singles division. I want to see an influx of tag team, because I personally like the women's tag team titles, and I think that they should be relevant.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that's for me. Sasha and Naomi feels thrown together.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, but I have my final trash for the show, and this one goes out to someone in particular. He's part of the WWE podcast. He does the mailbag shows, take over every now and then. But the reason why this man is on my trash list, it's more out of jealousy. Okay? Because we were sitting here, and me and you went, 50-50 on our picks, basically? The whole WrestleMania?
It was about 50-50.
But there's a certain person that I had to jump out of the Discord server chat. Because at one point, this dude was 9-1. 9 picks correct and 1 pick incorrect at WrestleMania, and it's done this at every single pay-per-view. I'm saying that Mr. Casual Wrestling Fan is on my trash list, because I don't know if he's got Pat McAfee on speed dial. I don't know if Paul Heyman's in his pocket, but I'm saying, like, I trust what he says and his predictions more than David Meltzer. Yeah, I said his name. I said his name. Yeah. Are we allowed to say his name? I don't know. I don't care.
We're allowed to say whatever.
We're allowed to say whatever we want. But in my mind, casual wrestling fan, like, you cannot watch a pay-per-view and talk in the Discord chat with him because he is Mr. Spoiler. Absolutely Mr. Spoiler. And then, like I said, it's more jealousy than anything else. Yeah. But it hurts. It hurts because he will literally tell you what's going to happen and how a match is going to end right before it happens. Yeah. Or I just can't handle it. I can't handle it. Yeah. So my final trash moment, and he's been on this list for a while now, is Mr. Casual Wrestling fan. Stop spoiling the outcomes for me, okay? Trash. One more time. Trash.
All right, I got one more. One more quick fire.
Let's get it.
Gable Steveson. I'm the dude, he's going to be good, in my opinion. I'm happy.
The look is amazing.
And I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be a great addition. I'm happy to see him at WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm glad he got a little moment. He got to take that drink with the Street Profits and RK Bro, and I'm happy to see what comes from him. So that's
on that same tip. We just found out today. You remember Joku from the tight end from the Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at WrestleMania weekend. He tried out.
Oh, awesome!
And he looked good.
Awesome.
He looked. I didn't see him move, but he looks the part.
Yeah.
So I will say that's pretty fire. The fact that WWE is really digging into the well. They're not just trying to find any more the how they call superstars, but they're not trying.
They're not looking for what fits.
They're not looking for the one that's already established. Yeah. They're now looking for the next wrestler that's not even in there yet. Yeah. That might not even be, in the wrestling world. And so that for me was really, really cool. Yeah. I'm really excited to see what comes out of that. But this is our show. Well, this is our first show.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Rick Boogs.
Oh, hey, Rick Boogs.
Quick recovery, bro.
Please.
You're undeniably an animal. And the fact that happened to you when you do those sorts of lifts and all that in the ring all the time, it's sad.
I would have thought Ricochet would hurt himself before Rick.
100%. And so, quick recovery, man.
Please.
You deserve a shout out.
I need him on my TV. And I need Rick Boogs. I need Rick Boogs on my TV.
Yes, 100%.
Because I'm ready to... I can't do it.
Yeah.
I tried.
He's a undeniable star and
instant.
Yeah.
I've been in on him since the day I even got over the haircut.
With or without Shinsuke, the man is great.
And,
we already kind of touched on it earlier,
but Big E
as well.
Big E gets a lot of props because for somebody to get an injury like that and be as positive as he is.
He's such a humble dude. Just positivity. So we're sending that positivity to you as well.
Yes.
Quick recovery for you too, man.
And one way or another, I want Big E back on my television.
Yes, undeniable.
As soon as I can, because I am emotionally invested not only in Big E but in Tori. The man behind Big E
himself. Yeah.
Yes. Big shout out there.
You want to go big?
I'll say that.
Right.
Finally, a big shout out to the WWE Podcast family, everybody in the Discord server chat, all the hosts, and the boss man himself, Matt. Like I said, we don't even know if this is going to even see the light of day. No one may ever hear this. Like, he may listen to this when we drop it in his mailbox, and he might put us on the trash list, or even worse, a Lunchable
break. Oh,
hey, that's true. You guys can rate us. If our show, you can rate it between 0 and 5 Lunchables. 0 being we did awesome, or 5 means you ate Lunchables the whole darn show.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I've only been listening to the WWE podcast for a short time now. I would say maybe 6 months, and I think some of the best banter on the mailbag specifically was those callers calling in,
coming at
you, back when you're
cutting
AKA
promos.
Crisis, when you're coming in there, you got all these people cutting promos, firing at you, and I think Matt said it himself. This segment, I think, is going to be a good addition. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I just hope that we can ultimately, I mean, yes, eventually down the line, we do, have an end goal to have our own channel, our own podcast. That's why WTFW doesn't actually stand for anything. Right, as of right now, it stands for nothing. It can stand for whatever you want it to stand for. Whatever acronym you come up with, it is an acronym, but it is whatever it is because the WWE podcast is what got us into this. It's what's got us excited, and really the people. We want to be a show that is not just us talking. We want to include y'all.
Yeah,
so,
we want your opinion. We want to know how you feel. If we're fire, let us know. If we're trash, let us know.
Yeah, and next week, I think next week we'll start our Twitter.
I'm with it.
Yeah, we're gonna start a Twitter up next week because hey, if Matt doesn't like this, then why do all the extra work? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because the only way, in my mind, and I said this from the get-go when we decided to do this, is the only way that we can start this journey is right here on the WWE Podcast. And Matt may think that this top 30 ranking is only momentary. Nah, that's trash. No,
trash.
That's trash. We are going to do everything in our power
to light the fire.
To light the fire and set it up and do everything we can. We want to get up in that top 10. We're in the top 30 now. We going for top 10, right? Because did you know that right now the WWE Podcast is ranked higher than the New Day?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. And you know what? It's not just because of WrestleMania. It's because of y'all. It's because you, the listener. It's because of the interaction. It's because of the quick hits. It's because of all of it and the amazing staff. We just want to be a part of it. So instead of asking, instead of going through those channels, we decided to just do it. This is episode 1 of the WTFW podcast show here on the WWE Podcast. My name, Kanye Twitty.
And your boy here, Nemean Lion.
And we are out. Let us know on the mailbag how we did. And next week, we'll get ourselves a Twitter. And hey, if you have your own trash list, hey, soon we're going to have it set up so you can give us your trash list. And we'll put it on right here. But just remember, no one's safe. No one's ever safe. Y'all have a great one. Be blessed. We'll see you next Friday.
System shut down.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.